Ram trucks built to serve.
Tonight, get your sports fix. Relive one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. Michael Vick and the Eagles, Eli Manning and the Giants. The miracle at the new Meadowlands tonight, 8 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Something to look forward to. Time now for Drawing the Blank. All right, so Brady went on Howard Stern yesterday, tackled a plethora of topics, one of which was his legacy. Brady saying, I never cared about legacy. I could give an expletive about that. Nick, Brady not giving an expletive about his legacy is blank.
Oh, I think it's ahistorical, and I think we have proof to back that up. Now, I believe Brady that as a high schooler, he wasn't worried about his legacy. And right now, he's not worried about his legacy because it's already cemented. But what about, the mid-2010s when he hadn't won a Super Bowl in a decade, when Peyton Manning was setting records with the Broncos, when the Broncos had just beaten the Patriots in the playoffs? If only we had a record of how he felt at the time. Oh, wait, we do. We have an email from Tom that got leaked as part of the Deflategate investigation when he said in relation to his rivalry with Peyton Manning, which is all about legacy, I've got another 7 to 8 years. He's got another 2. Game on. So I don't begrudge Brady this at all, and he has the greatest legacy of any football player ever. But there was a point in time where legacy mattered to him, Greg Jennings.
Yeah, I think it's heavy. It's quite heavy because there's so many elements that we're learning that make up Tom Brady, and this is one of them. And I'm hearing him when he says he wasn't concerned about legacy, and I agree, because as a player you don't really think about that, but you care about wins, and what wins will do is will allow you to get a peek into what your legacy could potentially be. And I think that was something that drove him so much, winning and winning at all costs, regardless of his health, regardless of his physical makeup. He believed that he could fabricate a way to win every single time he stepped foot on the gridiron.
Jenna, I'm going with my barber's mirror, and here's why. I know it sounds weird, but it'll make sense. One of the interesting parts of Brady's interview is he says, I don't view myself as Tom Brady. That's outside looking in. I'm inside looking out. I was like, oh, that's right. That's how I feel about my barber. It's the end of my haircuts. The barber will come around and show me what he did in the back of my head and the neck. And I look at him and I say, I don't care. I never see that, and I don't care. As long as it's not a total disaster, it's fine. It's totally fine. And I think that's how Brady views his legacy. I don't care about that. I'm looking this way, not about how everyone else is looking at me.
That's great. That's great.
That's a good makes sense.
Just by the way, that must be a gender thing, because I do care about what it looks like.
No, Jenna, I
Tom
care
also
too.
talked about his. Okay, good. Tom also talked about his relationship with Bill Belichick, saying, quote, I can't do his job and he can't do mine. Oh, I don't know. I think Belichick can do those liability stretches. Nick, Brady and Belichick's relationship is blank.
Complicated. I don't believe that Belichick just was counting down the days till he could get rid of Tom Brady. I think Belichick loved coaching Brady and appreciates what he did for him. And I don't believe Brady, hates Belichick, that he wouldn't include him in his Hall of Fame speech because he didn't want to keep him with the Patriots as long as Brady wanted to stay with the Patriots. But I do believe, like any 2-decade-long relationship between two very headstrong people, there are going to be some complications, complicated the most by the fact that the power dynamic in this relationship was totally skewed. Belichick had all of it. Brady had none of it. And I think it came to a head, obviously, this past offseason. So I don't buy that these are two people that
do. This is how we operate. And Brady understanding that and being able to walk away knowing that at the end of the day, I did know. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what we were all about. And that's what created the success that we were able to have. So I think it's a pure relationship.
So Peaky Blinders on Netflix has been my quarantine watch. And it's going to lead to a few things. One, to more Peaky Blinders references in the show. And two, I might be head to toe in full tweed, multiple layers of tweed. But here's why I say it's Peaky Blinders. The leader of the gang, of the Peaky Blinders, guy Tommy, people are always trying to take him out. And he never gets mad. He goes over, it's like, I get it. You're trying to take me out. Here's how I view it. Can we work this out? And there was a part in the interview where Tom Brady's like, yeah, I get it. I started to get up there in age. It's Bill Belichick's job. Of course he's going to try to take me out. That's what he's supposed to do. So to me, it reminded me exactly of Peaky Blinders.
All right, I have to jump in real quick, Jenna. I apologize. I know we have to move on to the next thing. This is not just for Kevin Wildes. I'm not attacking you, Kevin, I promise. This is for everyone. America. Can we please stop treating Peaky Blinders like it's The Sopranos or Seinfeld, as Jenna would know? It is not a show that is so ubiquitous you can just reference and people understand it. Everyone's trying to shove this Peaky Blinders propaganda down my throat. People are like, oh, Nick, you're doing your hair like the guy on Peaky Blinders. The hell are you talking about? It's like there's too many shows. There's too many platforms. People keep referencing this show. Now I feel like I'm obligated to watch it to understand pop culture, and it's making me angry.
I need a friend. No one's watching it.
But
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
America keeps telling me I have to watch it.
It's Seinfeld or bust when it comes to what America should know. And let's move on quickly. Let's talk some Jameis Winston, who surprisingly was more than excited to get replaced by Tom Brady. But Jameis saying, quote, for you to get replaced by Tom Brady in a city that you love so much, I guess that's kudos to me. Nick, Jameis saying it's an honor to be replaced by Tom Brady is blank.
I'm going to say Pollyanna-ish. So like Pollyanna, where you're so optimistic that everything's a positive. The reason I say that is Jameis framed this as if they were going to keep me, but they could get the greatest of all time. That is not what happened, bro. Like, they were going to move on from you no matter what, and they happened to get the greatest quarterback of all time. I applaud the optimism, and in these times, we need more of it, but I think it's a little Pollyanna-ish, Greg.
I think it's voracious, man. When I look at it and I think about where he's coming from and why he's saying it, he's hurt. He's hurt, and this is the only thing that would make it make sense to him is to tell himself, like, look, they replaced me with the greatest of all time.
Jen, I'm going RZA versus Premier, 9 o'clock on Saturday, just announced. I'll be just there on my phone watching RZA versus Premier. Premier will win, and it'll be like, wow, I can't believe RZA lost. It's like, you lost to the greatest DJ producer of all time. So RZA Premier for me.
I would have predicted that. Said nobody ever. Got to take a break. Coming up, Steelers All-Pro defensive end Cam Hayward will join the show to discuss Peaky Blinders next on First Things First.
Oh.